They blast through prime time with razor-sharp monologues, spar with lawmakers, and shape breakfast table debates from coast to coast. But when each Fox News giant slips out the side door and the teleprompter goes dark, they enter a far quieter world, one filled with fragile marriages, whispered romances, private heartbreak, and defiantly ordinary joys. Tonight, we're yanking back that velvet curtain. You'll meet the high school sweetheart who still studies a former ratings king, the philanthropist wife who turned medical terror into a mission, and the morning show duo whose secret courtship just made Page 6 squeal. Ready? Let's dive into the love stories even the most loyal viewers rarely hear. Long before she fired off courtroom-style rants on the Five, Jeanine Pirro was smashing glass ceilings in upstate New York. In 1993, she became the first woman to serve as Westchester County's district attorney, throwing her weight behind tough prosecutions of domestic abuse predators and child exploiters. That fearless streak eventually carried her to Fox, where her no-apology commentaries sparked cheers and fury in equal measure. Off-camera, the judge built a family with businessman lawyer Albert Perino. Their union endured headline-level turbulence. When Albert was convicted of tax evasion in 2000, a gut punch that thrust the couple into tabloid glare for months. Yet Jeanine kept anchoring her life around work, children, and sheer grit, rarely letting courtroom drama bleed into prime time. The marriage did finally dissolve in 2013, but sources close to the family insist the ex-spouses remain cordial for their kids. Rumors of a new relationship bubbled up again in late 2024 after paparazzi caught Jeanine dining with a longtime family friend. Nothing has been confirmed, and Pirro seems happy letting the gossip swirl while she stays laser-focused on politics. Greg Gutfeld rewrote the rulebook for cable late night by marrying hard politics to deadpan comedy, and then topping the old guard, networks in the ratings. Yet in his downtown Manhattan apartment, it's not camera drones or cue cards that dominate the living room. It's baby toys. In December 2024, Greg and his Russian-born wife, fashion stylist Elena Musa, quietly welcomed their first child, daughter Mira. Greg announced the news on the Five with a grin big enough to swallow Times Square, adding that, "Mira arrived with a set of lungs louder than my monologue." Elena's resume is as worldly as her husband's humor. Model, Parsons-trained designer, former magazine editor, now the owner of a boutique label catering to London and Milan elites. Friends say she keeps Greg grounded by enforcing off-grid weekends at a rented farmhouse in rural Connecticut. No social media, no producers, just diapers and fresh air. The contrast is striking. On Monday nights, he shreds political hypocrisy in a navy suit. By Saturday, he's squinting at fireflies with a baby carrier strapped across his chest. Dana Perino never needs to shout to win a debate. The former White House press secretary combines steel nerves with Midwestern courtesy, which is why viewers lean in when she lifts an eyebrow on the Five. Her marriage to British-born businessman Peter McMahon has the same steady hum. They met on a flight in 1997. By the baggage carousel, they'd exchanged phone numbers, and within a year they were married. 2 decades, 1 White House stint, and countless news cycles later, they still trade affectionate barbs about whose accent is harder to decode before coffee. Their household's breakout celebrity, though, was Jasper, the muscular Vizsla who became America's dog. After Jasper's 2021 passing, Dana swore she couldn't go through that heartbreak again. 3 months later, Percy trotted into the Perino home, all velvet ears and tail-thumping optimism, quickly mending the hole Jasper left behind. Dana introduced Percy to viewers in a heart-melting Fox essay, admitting the puppy reminded me that love always circles back. These days, the couple split time between Manhattan and their scenic New Jersey cottage, gardening on weekends and planning spur-of-the-moment trips back to Peter's native Yorkshire. Dana's fans often speculate why she seems so unflappable on air. The answer is waiting just off-screen, holding a leash and a chai latte. But the quietest romances can sometimes spark the loudest headlines, as 2 early morning hosts just discovered. For years, Fox and Friends co-host Ainsley Earhardt deflected questions about her love life with a megawatt smile and a pivot back to news of the day. Meanwhile, primetime titan Sean Hannity brushed off rumors with trademark brevity. "I don't talk about my personal life." Viewers weren't buying it. Since 2020, Page 6 had linked the two, citing eyewitness accounts of shared vacations and family gatherings. Then came the holiday bombshell. Late on Christmas Eve 2024, Page Six released its annual Celebrity Engagements Roundup, and nestled between pop star proposals was a line that made cable news gasp: Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt. The couple finally confirmed the news in identical statements, praising the blessings of faith, family, and mutual respect. Still, they maintain separate residences so their children, his teens, her elementary schooler, can keep stable routines. "We're a modern family. 2 houses, 1 heart," Ainsley reportedly told close friends. Both anchors remain wary of oversharing. On set, their chemistry surfaces only in fleeting smiles. Off set, insiders say they cherish low-key nights. Grilling in Sean's Long Island backyard, kids chasing the family dog while the grown-ups compare show notes and Sunday school lessons. For 2 of Fox's most recognizable voices, guarding privacy has become an act of rebellion, and maybe the secret to keeping the romance intact. Special report viewers see Bret Baier as an unflappable arbiter of policy minutiae. What they miss is the hidden adrenaline coursing through his household. Bret's wife, Amy Baier, has steered the family through 5 heart surgeries for their eldest son, Paul, the latest an emergency procedure in spring 2024 after doctors spotted an aneurysm during a routine MRI. The operation was brutal but successful, and physicians believe it will be Paul's last time on the operating table. Amy channels those medical battles into relentless advocacy. She chairs fundraisers for Children's National Hospital and lobbies Congress for pediatric device approvals. Bret credits Amy with keeping both his kids and his composure alive. "If I can stay calm while the control room countdown blares in my ear, it's only because I've watched Amy stand fearless outside an ICU." Family nights in the Baier home feature Mario Kart marathons and competitive pancake flipping. Duty calls soon enough. Bret is often whisked back to Washington for late-breaking interviews, but thanks to Amy's quiet heroics, he steps into each broadcast knowing the family's foundation is firm. From health scares to healthy ratings, we glide into the life of a no-nonsense midday anchor who married her newsroom rival. On the Faulkner focus, Harris delivers surgical interrogations with elegant calm, traits first honed covering city council disputes in Kansas City and Minneapolis. The anchor's secret weapon is Tony Berlin, the former investigative reporter who stole her heart in a local news green room 2 decades ago. Tony eventually ditched daily deadlines for a thriving PR firm, but he never stopped editing Harris's scripts in red pen when she asks. Their interfaith household, Harris is Christian, Tony Jewish, revolves around 2 teenage daughters, and they operate on a simple rule. When breaking news erupts, one parent must still be available for homework help. Neighbors in their New Jersey suburbs say you're likelier to catch the pair, laughing at high school track meets than posing on red carpets. Harris knows controversy sells in cable news, yet she and Tony purposely dodge the spotlight, proof that big ratings don't require public spectacles. Speaking of controversy, the next romance blossomed decades before its star became the internet's favorite lightning rod. When Fox and Tucker Carlson parted ways in April 2023, media critics screamed, fans rallied, and rivals circled. Carlson barely paused. Within weeks, he launched an independent talk show streamed on X, formerly Twitter, re-emerging nightly from a rustic Maine studio. The steadying hand on that reinvention was Susan Andrews. The shy headmaster's daughter Tucker met at St. George's boarding school. They married in 1991, share 4 adult children, and still swap handwritten notes in kitchen lunchboxes when their schedules diverge. While the pundit wages ideological war on air, Susan protects the family's privacy with near-military precision. No Instagram, no interviews, no traceable street numbers on envelopes. Their son, Buckley, recently joined Senator J.D. Vance's staff, nudging the Carlson clan even deeper into national politics, but only on their terms. In an age of oversharing, the Carlsons' fortress of quiet feels borderline radical. And finally, a one-time corporate attorney whose marriage doubles as a storytelling think tank. Megyn Kelly chased her curiosity out of a white shoe law firm and into a Fox News anchor chair, where the Kelly File scorched primetime competition. Today she helms the Megyn Kelly Show podcast, an uncensored arena she owns from first syllable to final ad read. Sharing that creative energy is husband Douglas Brunt, himself an ex-tech CEO turned best-selling novelist whose thrillers have landed on New York Times lists. Their dynamic is half newsroom, half writer's retreat. Megyn mines court filings and political leaks. Doug tinkers with character arcs and historical mysteries. Dinner talk vacillates between blockbuster rulings and 19th-century submarine patents. They raise 3 children without nannies, insisting that carpools and science projects keep them human.